This is your home services powered team's very first Home Care 101 class. And so the purpose of this class, and thank you all for being here, is first of all to introduce you to a trusted group of home services professionals. You all own homes, and there are times that you need something done at your house. We want you to know people that we work with. We all work together all of the time. These are people that we know, like, and trust. Everybody has issues at their home from time to time. And as a realtor, I see the high cost of deferred maintenance and how it negatively impacts people's home value. So we know that small unattended items end up costing big time if they're not taken care of. All of these folks are coming together to help highlight things that you need to know about better taking care of your home so that you're not diminishing your investment, but rather building equity in it. Number two, we want to give you the opportunity to learn some key home issues to help you with your property, a new way so that you know what to look for and pay attention to. And three, give you a platform to ask questions for free. How many times have you run across something at your home and you're like, I wish I had somebody I could ask? Well, you do. You have a whole bunch of somebodies. Each one of our presenters is going to go through a short presentation with some slides that I'm going to be sharing. You can see who our home services professionals are because we've all got the same green background and we all have contact information on our virtual backgrounds. So you can grab that there, and there will be opportunities with each presentation to get that information again. So feel free to take notes, take screenshots, or more importantly, download the chat before you jump off of the call tonight. Everybody that's presenting has put their contact information in the chat or is hurriedly doing so right now before we go to the slides. So we do want this to be interactive. We want you to ask questions. There are really no stupid questions. If you're thinking it, somebody else is thinking it, and we want everybody to make sure that they have an opportunity to do that. And with that, we're recording the class. So I want you guys all to know we are going to put this on social media. If you don't want your face to be seen, go ahead and turn your camera off now. Is totally fine. And please mute yourselves so you don't have unintended background noise. That will be very, very helpful. If you do have a question, Robin is going to be monitoring the chat. So if you have questions as each presenter is going, she will help us to field those. And then we will have a question and answer time at the end. So if you want to hold your questions till the end, that's fine as well. Okay. So with that, again, thank you guys for being here. There's 28 of us here tonight. I'm really pleased with that. And we're going to probably continue to do this possibly quarterly. So make a note. Who do you know that owns a home that will need this information in the future? We want to be able to build on this and invite other folks as we move along. So I'm going to share screen. We're going to go to our presentation, and let me get all of our little Zoom windows out of the way. Okay, Robin, you're in charge from here on with the chat, and I'm going to present. Okay, so I am Lisa Bradburn. I am a licensed real estate principal broker in the state of Oregon. I am the principal broker for Your Own Team and am licensed with Premier Property Group right here in West Portland. And so I've got a team of 4 of us that work together. It is a blast. I've been a realtor for 26 years, and I've been in the housing industry for solidly 30. So I've got a lot of experience. I've read a lot of home inspections. I've walked a lot of properties, and I've seen a lot of problems. And I just feel really passionate about people having the empowerment of information to help you better take care of your homes. So with that, our first presenters tonight are from Directors Mortgage, Maurice Grant and Robin Rose. Maurice is a senior mortgage specialist and Robin is a reverse mortgage specialist, both in residential lending. So Maurice, if you want to go and go ahead and get started. And
yes, perfect. As Lisa said, my name is Maurice Grant. I'm with Directors Mortgage. I've been at Directors for 21 years and in the business for 30. I also want to introduce Robin. Robin, we want to share a little bit about you.
Yes, am I off mute? Yes, I'm a reverse mortgage specialist, and I've been doing reverse mortgage entirely only for about the last 10 years. And so that's my passion. I love helping seniors retire better.
That's a big deal, helping those folks do a better job when they're at that retirement age.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cover a couple different things about homes in the initial. Most folks on this call has either bought a home a week ago or 15, 20 years ago. When you bought that home, hopefully you had a home inspection, right? To tell you what's going on with the home. The lender's going to require certain things done with the home. And in that home inspection, you probably got a home inspector that gave you red marks on things that should be addressed right away. Or that individual may have said, okay, here's a yellow. This is something that may needs attention down the road. And if anyone's similar to me that don't have that skill set, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Don't get to it. Well, you have a bunch of folks on this call will be able to help you identify what may be wrong and what you should do to remedy that issue. Obviously, your home is an asset and you want to make sure you protect that asset. And how you do that, you have professionals help you with things that you're unable to do yourself. Like everything in my life, I'm not able to do anything home related. So I have friends on this call that can do these things for me. So trusted people know what they're doing, and we truly appreciate all their hard work for our clients. So as a home, I'm going to speak about a couple different things that are common issues that we have on appraisals. Obviously, plumbing leaks. That's an issue that is common, and they're usually fairly easy fixes that requires very little attention. Some of the bigger things, obviously, if you have a wood stove, that needs to be certified or decommissioned. And most folks in that home inspection will have that type of report. And then the other really, really big thing from a conventional standpoint is dry rot, wood that is failing and has to be replaced. And most consumers don't really think about those things. And then obviously the home inspector brings that up. So that's what I have on the conventional side. Lisa, let's go to the next slide and have Robin talk about some of the other things that are big issues in terms of properties. Robin?
Yeah, thank you, Maurice. My name is Robin Rose, and I am with the reverse department at Directors Mortgage. To give you a brief overview, a reverse mortgage is an FHA insured loan for homeowners over the age of 62, and this loan can be used in two ways. First, it gives homeowners the ability to eliminate their monthly mortgage payment and provides access to the equity that the owner has in the home in the form of a growing line of credit. And second, it enables home buyers over the age of 62 to purchase a home without a monthly mortgage payment. So whether you choose an FHA insured conventional or reverse loan for a purchase or refinance, it's important to know that the required appraisal will be focused not only on the value of the home, but also on the safety and security of the home. The appraiser is going to look for any chipping or peeling paint on the exterior and interior, which may indicate possible water intrusion issues. They're also looking for any foundation settlement concerns, as well as accessibility to the attic and crawl spaces in order to determine whether or not a hazard exists and needs to be addressed. So our amazing home services team is your resource center for both your home financing needs and for preventing and addressing any safety issues. Again, it's Robin Rose, reverse mortgage specialist with Directors Mortgage. We look forward to helping you build and maintain the equity you have in your home.
Excellent. Thank you so much. With that, we're going to pass this over to our roofer, Michael Hogard with Jobin Roofing. Go ahead, Michael.
Thank you so much, Maurice and Robin. That was perfect. Next slide. So like Lisa said, my name's Michael with Jobin Roofing. We've been in the business for about 5 years now, and we truly love what we do. We're really passionate about it. And we really, this company was started to be an advocate. We wanted someone that's on the customer side. And so the first question that I kind of came up with when we were developing these slides is, do you actually know what's going on with your roof and attic? Sometimes when you pull in your driveway and you look up at your roof, you can see a little bit of your roof, but not very many people, or I would say hardly anyone, goes in their roof or goes on their roof or in their attic as frequently as they should. It's recommended that you go on your roof and check out your attic at least once a year, partly to look for those things like Maurice and Robin said, dry rot, problems in the attic, things like that. But there's a lot of other things. So when was the last time you or someone you know checked those things out for you? And that's where I come in. We offer free inspections of your roof and your attic space. I would love to come check things out. And we also have repair technicians. Lisa, can you go to the next slide? So we kind of determine who's going to come out. So I handle the replacements, and then we have repair techs that do the repairs. And this isn't 100% ruled, but it works pretty often. And the way I like to describe it is I'd hate for a client to put money into a roof that really should be replaced, right? I don't want them to put money into this project where it's kind of wasted money. So if your roof is somewhere in the neighborhood of 13 years and newer, then it's probably a good idea to have my repair tech come out and assess for a leak or assess any of these areas. If it's 13 to 15 years and older, it might be time to really think about replacing your roof because, again, I'd hate for you to spend any amount of money on a roof that really should be replaced. But I want to touch on our repair techs. We have a super high quality repair team. We have two guys that ran their own business, and there's a lot of, obviously complications with that. And so they decided, hey, they kind of want to hang up doing their own thing and come and work for us. So we have repair techs that can repair metal roofs, tile roofs, cedar shake. We also offer moss cleaning, as well as your standard composition roofs. So we really, between all of us on the team, we've seen it all, or at least most of it, and can take care of anything that you are seeing. And we really love what we do. And I think I have one more slide, Lisa. One more. Perfect. So these are some of the things that I'm going to check out, as well as our repair techs would look for, and some things for you to on. So if your home, if you bought a home recently or in the past couple of years and your inspector said, hey, you've probably got a couple of years left, these are some things that are really going to stand out. So the pipe collars, the pipes that extend out of your roof, those little metal pipes have these rubber collars around them and they wear out over time. That's one of the first things that really starts to wear just from sun exposure. And that can actually let water directly into the home. I'll also check out your attic ventilation, the plywood that's up there, check for mold, make sure there's air circulating, look for missing shingles as well as cracked shingles. So would love to connect with any of you guys, get a repair tech out there, get myself out there. And next up, we have Grant. He'll be talking about some gutters for us.
Just real quick, Michael, we have a question for you.
Yeah.
Does Jobin Roofing certify roofs? And what are the main benefits of roof certifications?
We don't offer roof certificates. It's really difficult to slap your name on it. So a roof certificate is, we would basically come and say, we certify that this roof will last X amount of years. It's really difficult to know exactly how long is a roof going to last, right? There's a ton of elements. It seems like every year we get a once in a 50-year rainstorm or once every 50-year windstorm. And so those things we really can't predict. The other problem with roof certificates is sometimes those companies aren't around long enough to stand behind the the certifying of the roof. So it's not what we typically recommend, but there are companies that do offer that service.
Great, thank you.
One thing I would say as a realtor, having used Jobin for a long time, really what I need is an assessment of the roof. And I know they don't do certifications, but they've always been very honest with me to say, you know what, I think if some of the repairs are done, they're going to be good for a bit. Definitely, more than a year unless there's a catastrophic event. So they're able to give me as a realtor and my client at least some level of understanding of what the current condition of that roof is. So if that helps you guys and whoever asked the question, I've had Brandon say to me, you know what, I just think some repairs here is enough and you're going to be good to go. Or, you know what, I know this roof is not very old, but it wasn't properly cared for. Somebody walked all over it and degranulated the roof. They didn't take care of the moss, and it's shortened the lifespan of that roof more than it should have been because other maintenance issues were not attended to. So things to think about.
Yeah, there's one more question for Michael. How often does the caulking around the roof pipes need to be replaced?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So sometimes you'll see roofers put caulking around those rings when they wear out. Generally, they wear out around somewhere 10 to 15 years. And a lot of roofers, myself included, you just need to go up and put one of those little rubber rings around it. They sell them at Home Depot of different sizes. They make kind of some higher end ones, but really all you need is just one of those little rubber circles. You cut the opening, you put it on the tube, and you're good to go. But when we do a replacement, we replace all of those pipe flashings, is what they're called. So the pipe flashings and those little rubber boots. And usually most people do their roof about every 20 years. So sometimes they go the full 20 years, sometimes they wear out sooner. That's one of the reasons to have your roof inspected and really assessed. Is it's tough to know, but about every 15 or so years, you can expect those rubber boots to be good for.
Great. Thank you, Michael.
Excellent. Okay. Mr. Putnam, glad you're with us tonight. Gutter Pros Northwest. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what you want to tell us?
Well, thank you. I truly appreciate the opportunity to be here. Good evening, everyone. And thank you for being here and being interested in your home and learning more about this. I am Grant Putnam with Gutter Pro Northwest. It is a pleasure to be here tonight and to be a part of this home services team, which is a resource group for all of you homeowners. So it's fantastic that you're here. Gutter Pro Northwest is a family-owned business. We've been in business about 4 years. We are here to talk about tonight gutter systems and why they are important to you. Yes, great. This is one of our teams here, whether you're looking at putting new gutters on or doing other things. We have the team members available and the equipment to do it. So one of the most important things is the proper control over rainwater, and it's probably one of the 3 most important items that you can do to preserve the integrity of your home. Uncontrolled or misdirected rainwater can and will create damage to the exterior and at times the interior of your home, that is creating the need for expensive repairs. As you just heard from our other trade partner, Jobin Roofing, which does a fantastic job of their side of it, we then control that water from the roof off of the roof itself and away from your home. Next slide, if you would, Lisa. This is not the best picture, I apologize, but one of the things that does happen, and here is an example of what can happen of improperly installed flashing, which has rotted the rafter tails. So we were actually able to go in and replace these rafter tails and then install the correct flashing along with a new section of gutter. Go ahead and go to the next slide if you would, Lisa. Here at Gutter Pro Northwest, we not only sell new gutters, but we can clean gutter systems and offer a plan that has a scheduled cleaning service, along with doing repairs. Whether you are in need of replacing your entire gutter system, have done an addition to your home, or need to get scheduled for our annual or semi-annual cleanings, which can add leak protection and or screens, please feel free to give us a call for all of your needs or questions when it comes to gutter related issues. If you would, please give us a call. Grant Putnam with Gutter Pro Northwest.
Next up is Brian Hogue. Brian Hogue Painting.
Thank you very much. Well, Lisa and everyone else is absolutely right. Home maintenance is absolutely valuable. I wanted to speak to the value of color before talking about some paint maintenance. According to Zillow, if you're looking for the best color to paint your front door and what would bring the best resale, black has been shown to be the color to seriously consider. White siding also has been labeled as or identified as the highest resale value for the home. The right buyer could be willing to pay $6,449 additional for the typical U.S. home when a black door and or white siding are used. But I'm here just trying to help you maintain your sidings, your home's siding, trim, and doors. Quality, well-maintained paint is your home's first line of defense against our harsh Northwest elements. Aesthetically pleasing colors are also a major factor in your home's value. So I ask you, when is the last time you or anyone took a close, thorough look at your siding, trim, or doors. We're happy to do that, and we respond quickly. We would provide free estimates, and I hear some shouts of encouragement back there for all of us. Yeah, that was perfect timing. Yeah.
Mute your background noise, please.
So when's the last time you or anyone took a close look at your siding trimmer doors? If not recently, I'd be happy to take a look. So my name is Brian Hogue. My company's Brian Hogue Painting. The health of your home is absolutely critical. And as you see in our last slide, we're offering some spring specials. So how about working on the maintenance of your home if needed and keeping its value up to snuff?
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, and now Kevin Stepnick with Best Owner Direct HVAC. I know you're going to enjoy Kevin. He is a ton of fun and so very knowledgeable. Kevin, take it away.
Thank you. So we're going to speak about one thing and have 6 parts that connect to it, and it's called improperly fitting, sealing, or undersized air filters. There's 6 major causes that we see that damage the systems, cause them to be replaced prematurely. Number 1 cause is debris buildup on that blower wheel. That's what moves the air through the home. This causes vibration. That vibration then transfers down through the metal to the other components, wearing them out, including causing your indoor air conditioning coil to leak. The second thing that happens with the dirty filter that's improper fitting is we get debris buildup, also restricts air across the heat exchanger. Low airflow causes that heat exchanger to overexpand and retract. Premature cracks and failures are common from low airflow and not warranted by the manufacturers. Typically, you lose 5 to 7 years on the lifespan of the furnace. Can we go to the next slide, please? The third cause is the blower motors are plugging up. These motors are cooled by the air that they move. If air is restricted from moving through them, they will burn out. Fourth thing happens is plugging of the cooling coil. That's where your air conditioning comes from on the inside. This causes ice to build up. Ice crushes the coils, causing refrigerant leaks. Often there's oily signs that show up on the bottom of the cooling coils. They are direct reflection of extreme ice buildup in the system. And the next one, please. Number 5 is dirt and mud buildup. Dirt gets on that cooling coil and causes it to rinse down into the condensate trap. And now we have a little mud plug. Now the condensate can't flow to the outside. It will flow, but it goes down into your ducting and it builds up, restricting airflow. Flexible duct likes to soak up water like a diaper. When it gets heavy enough, it will tear loose from the branch system, and now you're blowing air directly into the crawl space. This is very expensive and it can cause many different illnesses. And the last is number 6, your filter accessibility. Some filters are so poorly designed, you have to reach up into the blower compartment to access and to replace them. There is line voltage there, there are sharp metal there, and these things can hurt you really bad. These injuries and possibly amputation if the blower turns on while you're reaching up there trying to grab at that filter. Air filters cause a lot of damage, and it's a very simple thing to fix. Keep these replaced often as you can, and your system won't wear out. Kevin with Best Owner Direct.
Wow, that's so good, Kevin. I always love to listen to you talk about these systems. And I think what a lot of homeowners commonly think is that their air filters are keeping the air in their house clean and that it's healthier for them. But really, the filters are protecting the motor and the components of the system instead. So what can homeowners do to actually improve their air quality in their home as well?
We want to change the filters as often as you need to, and it means need to, meaning some homes are in a more cleaner, more into the rural, so it's a naturally cleaner area. Some homes are closer to highways, freeways, the air is just naturally more dirty. So if that filter started out a set color and it's clearly changing colors, it is a good time to replace it every 3 months, 4 months, or 6 months, depending upon where you're living at. Make sure the filter fits really snug or has a good seal around it. If it's dirty inside the blower cavity, that dirt is getting around your filter and it's only damaging your system. And that's where the problem comes with poorly seated filters that are wrong sized, folded in half, tried to fit into there. Changing the filters as often as you can, that will protect the life of your equipment. The second thing to the filters to protect you personally, but your investment is the first thing that filter is designed to protect.
Excellent. So how often should people have their furnaces cleaned and serviced?
Older furnaces, at least twice a year. Newer furnaces, you could get by with once a year, as long as the manufacturers approve a once a year maintenance to maintain the warranty.
And they probably need to schedule with you a moment in advance because the sun is out and I bet you're getting very busy right now.
It can be a challenge, yes.
Okay, you guys, you know what to do. All right, next up is Kara with Edge Electric.
Yes, thank you. I'm Kara from Edge Electric, your go-to experts for all your electrical service needs. Today, I want to discuss 3 critical electrical components found in every home or small business: panels, lighting, and plugs and switches. So let's start with panels. Have you heard of the notorious Federal Pacific electrical panel? These panels were manufactured from the 1950s to the 1980s, and surprisingly, around 11% of homes still have them. However, they pose a significant risk. The problem lies in the design and the busing within the panels and the breaker's inability to trip. To put it simply, the poor connection between the busing and the breakers make the metals expand differently, which leads to trouble. Over time, these metals expand at different rates, resulting in heat and loose connections. And loose connections mean electrical hazards like shocks and fires. So our recommendation is to proactively replace these panels before a disaster strikes. Don't wait for an emergency to happen. Consider financing options available to you, ensuring the safety and quality of your electrical system. Next slide, please. Lighting is another crucial aspect. At Edge Electric, we specialize in installing energy efficient and aesthetically pleasing lighting solutions for your home or small business. Let us brighten up your space while saving you money on your energy bills. Introducing the benefits of modern LED lighting. No maintenance required. These lights can last up to 50,000 hours, equivalent to 22 years of use at 6 hours per day. Experience enhanced visibility and better mental and physical health with high quality light that mimics natural lighting. Say goodbye to heat. LED lighting doesn't get as hot as traditional incandescent bulbs, keeping your space cool and safe. Enjoy customizable lighting experiences, adjust cool, brightness, and create scenes to match different periods of the day automatically. Upgrade your design aesthetics with a wide range of options. LED lighting offers improved design choices to suit your style. So make the switch to LED lighting and enjoy long-lasting, energy-efficient, and visually appealing illumination for your home or business. And last slide. So let's talk about the importance of plugs and switches in your electrical system. These seemingly small components have a significant impact on your daily life. Faulty or outdated plugs and switches can cause inconveniences and even hazards. That's why it's crucial to trust our experienced team at Edge Electric to upgrade and replace these essential elements. By replacing outdated electrical plugs and switches with clean and modern options, you can easily give your home a fresh and updated look. It's a simple yet effective way to enhance the aesthetics of your living space. But more importantly, changing out your electrical plugs and switches is a necessary safety precaution. Ensuring that all of your home's electrical connections are sound and safe is paramount. Good connections are the cornerstone of a high-quality electrical system. At Edge Electric, we're dedicated to providing top-notch electrical service for your home or business. We understand the importance of maintaining a safe and efficient electrical system, so don't take risks with outdated panels, subpar lighting, or faulty plugs and switches. And unless I have any questions, I believe up next is Mike Bender with Zen Windows.
Excellent. One thing I commonly see on home inspections that I'll just say is the need for GFCI plugs within. You guys can remind me the code, but I think it's 3 feet of any water source. So that would be a sink, a tub, any of that thing of that nature. So if you've got locations in your home that do not have GFCI outlets near water sources, that would include faucets in your garage or outside as well. That would be something to consider and take a look at. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Kara. And we are going to pass this along, as she said, to Mike Bender, Zen Windows and Doors in Portland. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Kara. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Lisa, if you could go to the first slide, please. My name is Mike Bender. I'm the owner of Zen Windows here in Portland. We provide sales and installation of windows and entry doors. I've been involved with building products and construction since 1995. And something often overlooked when it comes to home care and repair are the windows. So if any of you have an old house with the original wood or aluminum single pane windows, those issues should be obvious, but what I want to discuss are issues with double pane windows. So most all houses built since the 1980s had double pane windows, and it was in the 1990s when we saw a boom in new home construction, especially here in the Pacific Northwest, where manufacturers were rushing to market all kinds of new building products. They were supposed to be the latest and greatest technology at the time, but unfortunately, most of those products did not have any real world testing for longevity, and windows were no exception. So it was in the 90s when vinyl windows became the most popular among new home builders. Thus, manufacturers were competing to make them as cheaply as possible. Those giant home building companies want to spend as little as possible on materials and maximize their profits. And so if you've ever heard the term builder grade when it comes to building products, that's where it comes from. Next slide, please, Lisa. So what does this mean for us today? Well, what we're seeing now is a problem that's been snowballing. So as all of these houses have aged past 20 years, those builder grade windows are now failing or at the end of their lifespan. So here's an example of a double pane window, and the double pane glass that's in it is just that. It's 2 panes of glass with a seal that binds the 2 panes of glass together. And over time, that seal will deteriorate. It allows moisture and dirt to accumulate in between the glass panes and ends up looking like some of these examples in the photo. So what can we do about it? Well, depending on the condition of the rest of the windows and the total amount of windows affected, it may make the most sense to just replace the windows entirely, preferably with one that's not builder grade. But today we've got Energy Star ratings. We got windows that are built to last a lifetime versus only 20 years. So as like Michael with Jobin Roofing said, we don't want you spending money needlessly or throwing money away when the windows should just really be replaced. But let's just say there's only a few windows that are showing signs of seal failure. We have another option, and that is we can replace just the glass without having to replace the window frame on all the trim and everything. So we can order a new double pane glass unit to fit, and we'll take the old glass out, put the new glass in. And if that's a route you want to go, just make sure you do a little homework. Any glass shop out there can glue 2 panes of glass together and call it an insulated glass unit, but likely will only last a few years and you'll just be spending that money again. So it pays to spend a little bit extra, go with a really well-respected company that has a good track record for their glass units. And so fortunately here in the Northwest, we have a company called Cardinal. They're a national glass company, widely regarded as best in the industry. And it just so happens that here in Hood River, they have a manufacturing plant that does nothing but make their insulated glass units. So that's who we source from. Can't recommend them enough. And if you'd like to get a hold of them or their product, we'd be happy to help you out with that. That's really it for me. Thank you for your time. If you ever have any window or entry door issues, I'm always available. You can reach me, mike@zenwindows.com. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Robin, do we have any questions in the chat? It looks like we've got a few notices down there.
No, it's basically because some of the slides, it would be helpful if all of our home services team could put their information into the chat so people can contact them and follow up.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Okay, so thank you, Mike, so much. And we are going to then go to Mike Funru with Banish Pest Control.
Hello, thank you, Lisa. So yeah, Michael with Banish Pest Control here, based out of Beaverton, and we service the whole Portland metro area. I'd like to just take a few minutes and talk about why pest control is essential for improving the quality and the value of your home. Give you as homeowners a couple of tips and tricks, things that you can do, things to look out for that will help prevent potential pest infestations. So my main message tonight is prevention is key. Some of these tips and tricks may seem a little silly and simple, but I'm telling you what, they make a huge difference as far as prevention and control of general household pests. So just going down the list, first thing that I always recommend people do is look for entry points or seal up any entry points. So inspect your home for any cracks, gaps, or openings in the walls, windows, doors, and the foundation and attic. A lot of times those get overlooked. Seal these entry points using caulk, weather stripping, expansion foam, screen, or any other appropriate material. Pay extra special attention to areas where utility lines enter the home. That's mainly for the foundation and attic vents, but they could be elsewhere. Number two, maintain a clean environment overall. So keep your home clean and free from food debris by regularly sweeping, vacuuming, and mopping the floors. I know that makes you really excited. Clean up any spills immediately and avoid leaving any dirty dishes in the sink overnight. I'm guilty of that, but it still makes a difference. Store food in an airtight container and dispose of any excess food or garbage in a sealed container or bin. Number three, eliminate standing water. Remove any sources of water around the house. That can be something as simple as bird baths, pet bowls, clogged gutters, leaky windows, anything like that. Keep an eye out for it, and don't overwater your lawn and garden. Be sure those sprinklers are not hitting the house. That's probably the biggest no-no that I come across as far as what can help entice pests from moving into the house. Moisture is a big one. If you do have any leaks or anything like that, fix those leaks and moisture issues around the home. And again, as I already mentioned, that's going to prevent pests from being attracted to the home and then venture inside the home. Proper food storage inside or out. So a lot of people have pets. Any food items like cereal, grains, pet food, put it in an airtight container as best you can. Plastic is a good place to start, but a metal container is best, especially for pet food. Regularly check for expired or rotten food. If you find any of that, toss that out. Don't need it. Kind of continuing with the outdoor maintenance. I would say this is probably number two, and the biggest overall thing is trim trees, shrubs, and any kind of foliage off of the house. That allows very easy access for critters of all kinds to just walk right inside the house without ever having to go under the house. Keeping your yard tidy and well maintained definitely helps prevent and discourage pests and gets rid of any harborages. Proper firewood storage. This is another big one. Store that at least 20 feet away or at least as far as you can, elevated if possible, and covered with a tarp. That's going to help prevent pests like rodents, ants, and termites from infesting that firewood and then meandering over and then into the house. Waste management is another big one. Your outside garbage receptacles, get an airtight lid. I guess it doesn't have to be an airtight lid, but as airtight as you can. That's going to prevent flies, raccoons, rodents from being attracted from those smells that are emanating from the garbage. And my least favorite chore is cleaning out that garbage receptacle itself, getting all that gunk out of there, just hose it out. That makes a huge, huge difference. I highly recommend that you regularly inspect your house, whether you do it yourself or you hire a professional. Just keep an eye out for things. We've already mentioned those entry points and any other signs of pest activity. That could be droppings, gnaw marks, nests, any other indicator really. If you have a question about it, just keep an eye on it or call somebody to come take a look at it. So that's prevention. Again, that's my main message. Prevention is key to avoiding any kind of pest infestation. If you implement some of these very simple measures, as I mentioned, I can't express enough how much this is going to help you prevent pests from entering your home. And in turn, that just helps improve the quality and value of your home. So hope I didn't go too quick for you, but thanks for your attention. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you, Mike. And I would just say, even with new construction, when those new subdivisions get put in, the mice really get stirred up, the field mice, and it is a common issue to have mice in your garage and coming into the house because you're in a newer neighborhood and there's building and construction happening around you. So definitely something to keep in mind. If you're living in a new home, you can have those issues as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, so next up, we have Pacific Royalty Construction, Jose Prado, friendly handyman services for our group. Jose, take it away.
Hey there, guys. So this is Jose with Pacific Royalty Construction, your friendly neighborhood handyman. A little bit of introduction about myself is I've been operating the handyman business for the past almost 9 years. Started in the state of Hawaii, and definitely that's where I learned a lot about dry rot and home being affected by the environment. And so the Northwest is not too different. It's very wet. It's very, it's just not as hot as Hawaii. That's all. So, yeah, let's go to the slides. So I will be sharing 3 areas of your home that is overlooked sometimes. When not maintained, it can potentially create unnecessary expenses. Right here, we have the attic area. In old construction, there's mending plates that were pressured into to create the rafters, the top cords with the webbing of the rafters. So separation of rafters, top cords from the webbing frame sometimes is due to the weight of solar panels. Solar panels are really awesome to have, but if you're planning to install them, just check the structure of your framing and make sure that the plates are not separating like the picture on the right side, and or separation of your rafters, as you can see the red circle. Next slide. Also, what's important is that you have proper insulation in your attic. Keep your homes cool and in the summertime, and as well as warm in the wintertime. Recommended, it's art rated 38, and at least have 14 inches or above of insulation of height in the attic. That creates savings in energy. And so up next to the next slide. Also, the crawl space. It's very important to look at crawl spaces. So look out for water that is starting to make its way over the vapor barriers. Sometimes in crawl spaces under vapor barriers, you would find water that's been there for so long that it starts creating roots, or roots coming from the foliage or trees from the exterior of your home into your crawl space, and potentially affect your foundation footings or other stuff that you could create very big unnecessary expenses. It's very hard to deal with those. So when you open your crawl space access and you just shine a flashlight down there and you see shiny spots, it's a good idea to probably lift the vapor barrier and just check that you don't have more water underneath them. Up next, let's see here. Oh, the siding, exterior. When you have wood siding, you deal with woodpeckers that could cause intrusion of water into your home. So they create all those holes on your siding, and it creates dry rot on the siding, possibly even framing on the house, which could also create huge expenses. And you can see discoloration on your siding, like the picture on the left. It's black. That's an immediate sign of dry rot. And so being able to take care of just going around your home and finding those items that need attention. It's important to avoid huge expenses. And that's pretty much it. If anybody has any questions, feel free to shoot, or just feel free to contact Pacific Road to Construction, your friendly neighborhood handyman.
Thank you, Jose. Jose has a broad variety of experience and services, and he is an expert at the little things. So definitely, take a crucial eye around your property and see what items need to be addressed, and he can give you some good direction. Okay, and our general contractor of our group, James Harris.
So James Harris here with Cedar Mountain Construction. It's an honor to be part of this home services group. And I'm here to talk about something kind of unique, but not unique. The most consistent thing in lives is that things change, right? That is the most constant. And so our lives are constantly changing. So therefore, our needs and requirements, our wants, our desires, and all those are constantly changing for our house. So picture a newlywed couple. Their needs are going to be different than somebody who's just starting their family, or their family expanding, or as their family is getting older, things change, or then you start moving towards empty nesters, people retiring. Different phases of life require different styles of living. So that's where we come in. We help you design and keep that house to whatever those needs are for your current circumstances. We can remodel anything from kitchens to bathrooms. We can do facelifts on the exterior of the house, completely facelifts on the interior of the house. We use a lot of the same people in this group at Home Services as members of our teams. A general contractor's purpose is to make sure that all sequences of construction take place during your remodel or addition that you're going to be doing to your house, and make sure that it's done correctly and properly. We also do a lot of exterior services. If we can move to one of the other slides, we can do exterior things like building outdoor living areas as well. This is a great pavilion to be able to enhance your property. So if you have a need to stay living in that exact same house, whether the house location is near a school, near work, the community is great, we are the perfect fit to help you figure out how to stay in that house without having to move to a new location. But if you move to a new location, we got great members in this group like Lisa to help you find a new house that we can then help modify or maybe build from the ground up and build to your very specific needs and wants. So we use a design team and help you design specifically to your needs from conception to finish. And that's what we got.
I love you. I love that you do that. And I love that you have such a wide variety of options available for people. One of the things that we run across frequently is a lot of do-it-yourself additions, conversions, remodels, and it really degrades the value of a home by not having a contractor that does understand sequencing. I think that's probably one of the biggest issues when you're taking on a big project like this, not understanding sequencing, not having the right professionals to come alongside and lay that out properly so that you really are maximizing the value of the property. And so I love that you can have vision, and this outdoor kitchen is phenomenal. We all need those in Oregon. So thank you, James. I appreciate your presentation tonight. You're a huge value to our group, and we want to thank you for participating. And with that, we're going to jump over Jim Rozos with Allied Flooring Services.
Thank you, Lisa. This is Jim Rozos with Allied Flooring Services. There are thousands of flooring options to choose from. The good news is that I make it easy for you to select the right flooring product for your home. There are three things I want to cover today. First, it's very simple to have your flooring looking great for a long time. Use doormats outside the doors and a small rug on the inside of all entry doors. When indoor, use indoor shoes. Leave your outside shoes in the entry area. By doing this, you will increase the life of your flooring, make it easier to clean and maintain, and keep the inside of your home healthier. I don't ask my guests to take off their shoes, but the day-to-day, it's best to not wear the outside shoes in the house. If you have a large house or if you have a built-in vacuum system, purchase a small stick vac. It makes it easy to get to a mess quickly. Also, keep a small bucket handy with floor cleaners designed specifically for your flooring and a roll of paper towels. So when accidents do happen, you can easily respond quickly. It's that simple. Next slide. The second point, to select flooring for a home you'll be selling in 5 years or less, it's best to keep the styles and colors current and neutral. New flooring is usually 1% of the value of the house, but emotionally to a buyer, it will represent 10 to 20% of the value of your home. And my last point is, if you're going to be living in a home for more than 5 years, select a style and color that is perfect for you, as the flooring styles will change by the time you sell your home. The flooring you select should match your lifestyle. If you have a lot of children and pets, or if you entertain groups in your home, something that is waterproof, easy to clean, and hides day-to-day wear is very helpful. If you use your home as a quiet place to retreat and relax, there are flooring options that are comfortable, absorb sounds, and create a peaceful environment. If you have any questions, please contact me anytime. I'm Jim Rozos with Allied Flooring.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. I think it would be interesting for you to explain to people one of the popular products right now that we're seeing everywhere is LVP and LVT, luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile floors. You can get them just about anywhere, but there's a big difference in the different grades of what those LVP and LVT floors are. Can you explain that just briefly to people so they know why price per square foot there's such a broad range?
Sure. So the LVP came in after laminate. Laminate is very durable. You can't damage the surface of it, but the core is made with MDF or HDF, which is medium density fiber, basically wood dust. So water will expand it and damage it very easily. So LVP and LVT, luxury vinyl plank or luxury vinyl tile, what that'll do is it'll resist any water related issues because the core is made out of vinyl products. So you have a very durable commercial vinyl quality on top. The core is made out of vinyl, so it's waterproof and it's easy to maintain and clean. So it's really an ideal product. Now within that LVP world, what makes it more durable is the thicker the product. You can see it in the construction. The more material, the more durable it can, and it'll withstand all the wear and tear. It's actually a very economic option. So it's what a lot of people are doing right now, especially for the heavy traffic areas.
Yeah, great for pets, great for rainy climates and dirty feet when you're coming in and out of the house. They're easy to clean, and I know our clients are often very impressed by those and asking about it. And I've just seen a big range of quality, and I just don't think people realize why the thicker floors are better and what to look for. So I appreciate you bringing that and getting.
And one more thing, if I can add, the visuals, they have thousands of visuals you can choose from. So you can create almost any look and feel inside your home with that.
Definitely. And Jim will just bring samples right to you. I usually say, hey, we're kind of thinking of this price range, kind of this color range. He'll come with a bunch of books of samples. We just lay them right out on the floor and can make a selection in place, which I think is always the best way to do it versus making a color selection in a showroom. It's nice to bring the product that you're thinking about right into the environment that it's going to be installed in so you can get a better feel for color.
Yep. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, so Allied Flooring Services, and next up is Diane, and I don't think Diane was able to make it with us this evening, but I am going to just speak on her behalf. Diane is a very dear friend of ours. She has a personal shopping service, and she has helped a lot of us in our business at various times. She will come and do some light home organizing. She can help you do some light shopping. If you are needing to reorganize a closet or you're needing to replace items, she has helped, I know, some of my clients with window treatments and taking the measurements and going and getting the orders and things placed. So she's just a really great flexible go-between person. If you need an extra set of hands and some time, she's got it, and she's wonderful to work with. She can help you pick out home decor. She loves to do that too, and just kind of bring it all together once you do move into a house. So I always recommend her. She's just a fabulous friend of hers, and we just love her so much. So with that, we want to move over to, okay, so do any of our professionals have things that you've thought of that you'd like to also bring to the group tonight before we close?
I have a
one.
question. Okay, go ahead, Kevin. Kevin first.
Your air conditioner, another thing to consider is to keep that thing clean with water. It is good to hire a company to look into it, but a garden hose is inside everybody's skill set. If you can really get after your air conditioner or heat pump with a garden hose and keep it clean, the cleaner you keep it, the less often you have to worry about dirt buildup. Dirt is what kills equipment in my industry and what causes you excessive money. So if you need a company to help, we can, others can, but if you have the ability to get a garden hose, do yourself a favor and really get after it.
That's good. Thank you. Marie.
Lisa, say the same thing on the same sentiment, Gutter Pro Northwest. I mean, cleanliness is what's going to get your gutter system to either last longer and or identify any issues that you might have. So, whether or not the homeowner is comfortable in, taking care of that cleaning themselves and or inspections, if you're able to do it, please do it yourself. If you're not, reach out to us, and we're happy to give you a hand. And we've got a great home services team that can, as you've seen here tonight, that can sure help you with any of your needs. So thank you, and I truly appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. Thanks, Lisa.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's interesting. I know Mike Funru said the same thing. The cleanliness of our properties, it's not just so that it looks pretty. It really does make our home a healthier place. Jim Rozos had recently done a presentation for us in our group and talked about how even mold spores and things in a carpet and how that can affect our health. And so just considering what materials you have in your home, getting good advice when you're going to be making some changes to things to be able to just amplify the goodness and just the daily maintenance of our properties. It just makes such a huge difference to our overall value. How about you, Maurice?
I do want to add.
Oh, go ahead, Jose.
I wanted to add that whenever you guys are homeowners are doing their gardening or anything like that, and they're looking at the walls of their house and they just see it like caulking around the windows or caulking on their trim, if it's starting to crack or split away from the siding or the trim or the windows, it's time for them to get a painter and have them come over and caulk the whole house and paint it.
Excellent. True. Very good advice. I did see a question in the chat. In your real estate experience, does home value decrease when apartments are built near a home? That's a little bit subjective. Yes, it can, depending on what type of apartment complex, what kind of amenities, what kind of, rent values that they're capturing there, most certainly could have an impact negatively or positively to your real estate investment. So if you want more specific on that, I'd be happy to take a look at, your specific area and give you a little bit better idea about that. But I would definitely have a concern if it was right next to me. What's the proximity? That can have an impact too. I mean, I live in the Bethany area. We've got big apartment complexes a quarter of a mile from where I am, and it doesn't impact our home values whatsoever. They're next to nice parks and walking paths and things like that. But if it's right in your backyard, maybe that's going to have a bigger impact. Maurice, would you have any input on that?
Yeah, I think it depends on the quality of construction that's there. My recommendation, if you get wind of something going in, then I would talk to Lisa about perhaps transitioning to somewhere else. Equity in your home typically is pretty strong based on the last few years. Don't know how long you've had your home, but that might be an opportunity to transition to a place that doesn't have apartments coming up behind you.
Yes, very good. Nathan asked, do you recommend having the home professionally inspected every year or two to catch some of these issues before they become acute? I love this question, and I know that it's something that Jose and I have discussed at length. Having seasonal quarterly inspections on your home doesn't need to be a full home inspection, but certainly having somebody that's looking in your attic and your crawl quarterly, checking your furnace filters and all of those things. There's just having a home maintenance checklist is a great idea. If you're doing that, you may not need to have a full professional home inspection every year or two, but certainly if you've lived in your home for more than 5 years and you haven't done those things, might be something to consider. Having your sewer line scoped. If you've got big trees in your front yard and you've lived in your home for 15 or 20 years, might be a good idea to have a sewer scope run on that line to see if there's any root intrusion that's happening or any bellies in the line that are creating a potential problem. When most people discover those things is when they go to sell the house, and the price range on those kinds of repairs can run from $500 to have Roto-Rooter come in, blow out the roots, to $8,000 to $10,000 to have a line dug out and a patch repair done. So again, so sometimes these small things, if you can check on them periodically, I just think it's a great idea to have a home care checklist for your house and keep track of when you're doing things, because time flies fast and we forget. So good question, Nathan.
Lisa, to add to that, if a person's thinking of selling their home, you certainly want to do we call it a pre-home, pre-sale inspection. So you know what you have to deal with and get those things fixed before you put the sign in the yard, perhaps.
Yes, absolutely. Carrie, on the, you had a question about your panel. It's Edge Electric. Kara can help you. Her contact information is probably right there in the chat. And I can connect you guys after this meeting as well, if you wish. Let's see if we've got any other questions in the chat that maybe I would have missed.
Lisa, can I just add a comment based on the previous conversations?
Yes, absolutely.
You know, with electrical, it's difficult to kind of get eyeballs on things for homeowners because most of it is behind the walls. So Edge Electric, we do offer a multi-point, very thorough safety evaluation where our master electrician would spend a couple hours basically taking a thorough examination of a home's electrical system and essentially going through that report with the homeowner. And it's just a nice thing to do. So it's just awareness is everything. And so you're not caught off guard. And that way, if there are issues, then our technician and the homeowner can create like a game plan to go forward in the future. So that's something that's nice to offer and kind of put some peace of mind when it deals with your electrical system in your house.
Yeah, pretty important system from a safety perspective, for sure. And Tony has the coolest electrical truck ever. So you definitely want to call Edge because they do a great job. It's residential and they're great to work with. So any other questions out there or comments that our panel would like to present tonight? I want to thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for joining us for our very first Home Care 101 class. We're going to be continuing to build on this and do this again in the future. Your support is very meaningful to all of us, gives us a chance to sharpen our skills as well. And I hope you all had some good takeaways from tonight. Please download the chat right now. If you don't know how to do that, all you need to do is click on the little three little dots that say more, and there's a little drop down menu that you can save the chat. I'm going to do it right now. If you didn't get it, let me know and I'll get it for you. And thank you guys for being here tonight and taking time out of your evening. Go rest and enjoy the rest of your night. And thank you, Home Services Power Team. You guys are great.
People are awesome.
Thank you.